Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for January 2022. So, January 25th, we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruling over our communication, the way that we express ourselves, these aha moments in the way that we are having some very profound revelations from the past, is retrograde and re-entering into Capricorn energy. So, Mercury moved into Capricorn December 13th and stayed there until January 2nd, at which time Mercury moved into Aquarius, got a couple of degrees in Aquarius before going retrograde. Now, Mercury is backtracking. He is in the dark phase of retreat. He is retrograde with our goddess Venus, of course, who is also in the underworld, really kind of in an unconscious realm of reflection, of trying to piece together certain life lessons, certain realizations, why we had to go through what we went through in order to pluck out the silver linings to prepare us for what it is that we're about to move into. So we have to talk about this for a second. First of all, when Mercury was first in Capricorn, we had our blinders on. We were very, very, very focused on our long-term goals. We were thinking about our ambitions. We were thinking about our dreams. We got a little bit methodical, strategic, and calculated in the logical and practical steps that we had to take in order to bring some of those ideas to life. Then Mercury moved into Aquarius and suddenly we had a huge, big picture vision. Yes, there's a lot of information coming in. Yes, it was all jumbled. No, it didn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, but we got enough clues and hints to actually put into play what it is, our strategy, our next move, our big vision, our big dream definitely needed to be. Then Mercury fell asleep at the wheel, went retrograde. Suddenly we have all of these realizations, this little glimpse of the future, and now we have to kind of rest. We have to step back. We have to revise our plans. We have to make some edits to our plans. Why? Because we're connecting the dots to a lot of situations that we didn't even know were directly connected with one another. We had this bam kind of energy coming into the crown while Mercury was in Aquarius. And then all of a sudden that bam energy got a little bit muffled. We retreated. We went within ourselves in order to kind of review and reprocess some of the situations that have definitely taken place and have altered not only our present moment, not only our plans for the future, but altered the way that we see the events, how they happened in the past. Now that Mercury is creeping back into Capricorn, we have to understand that we have to put the blinders on a little bit. We have to get a little bit down to the nitty-gritty on what it is that we've been exposed to, that we had realizations about, that we're being asked to reprocess. This is like a reality check. If what we had experienced while Mercury was in Aquarius, big ideas, big vision, glimmers of light, glimmers of hope, glimmers of possibility. And then once the retrograde happened, we started seeing all of these chaotic events really kind of activate and trigger within us, really kind of putting us in a situation to question whether or not the dreams, the goals, the visions that we just had are still something that we're even aligned with, let alone what would actually be possible. Now moving back into Capricorn energy, we have to get our focus. We have to focus on practical matters. There's been some dramatic changes in our physical realms that we haven't even emotionally or mentally processed yet. We have to review. We have to revisit a couple of things. We have to concentrate on what needs to be done in the now in order to actually impact our future path and moving forward. We have to concentrate on what we have control of in the now, because Capricorn energy, as you may remember, is the great manifester of the zodiac. Mercury ruling over the mental plane, whatever we're focused on, we manifest. But we've had some disruptions to our plans. We've had a lot of changes take place to our physical realms. Now we have to get back down to earth. We have to become a little bit more realistic in our goals, in our dreams, in our visions. We have to put the blinders on and take a good look at the details. While Mercury was in Aquarius, the details didn't matter. It was the big picture. Now that we're moving back into Capricorn energy, we have to take that big picture and break it down into manageable, practical, logical steps that are actually obtainable. Now, our thought patterns, our communication style is going to revert back to logical, practical ideas. In Aquarian energy, the sky's the limit. The bigger the dream, the bigger the possibility. Now in Capricorn energy, we got to reel it in. We got to put things in order. We have to make sense of everything that has transpired. We have to make the edits. We have to reprocess our plans, our thoughts, our emotions in order to make sense of it. We have to get organized. This is a time where we're going to be able to sort out the details of what is important, what is currently still relevant, and what it is we have to let go of, what it is that we're no longer in alignment with, what it is that no longer makes sense to us. We have to be very real. This is where we take that big picture, that big dream, that big goal that we definitely created in our mind space. And now we have to get very real with what we actually think is possible. This isn't just hopes and dreams anymore. This is logical, realistic idealization. Now, when it comes to our communication style, we have to remember that we're a little bit rigid in our communication style. We are definitely detached to our emotions. We don't have time for nonsense. We can see right through the bullshit. And we become very calculated with how it is that we actually exert our energy in expressing ourselves. Now, we don't want to go to the dark side of the negative narrative that we work very hard to kind of eliminate when Mercury moved into Aquarius. We recognized our limiting beliefs. We recognized the negative narrative that we've been kind of under the influence of. We recognized how negative and dark our thoughts got, and we definitely did a huge shift in our mental plane in order to break free of that. Now, we are going to go back and revisit that, but we also have this great grand vision, this moment of inspiration, this aha moment that we were downloaded with Mercury in Aquarian energy to pull us out of that funk. So there is a very thin line that we are walking because we get to retrace our steps. We have a huge amount of wisdom, a huge amount of knowledge, a huge amount of experience that we have accumulated in a very short time. We're literally talking less than a month. And now we get to revisit our initial thoughts, our initial plans, our initial strategy for that big, great, grand vision. And now we get to get very particular on how it is that we are going to use our energy, our mental energy, our physical energy to bring these elements to life. Caution, Mars just moved into Capricorn. This just happened yesterday. Definitely go check out that astro forecast if you haven't already. It is going to be a slow start because Mercury and Venus are still retrograde, but Mars is looking to roll up his sleeves and get his hands dirty to bring to life some of these elements that we've thought about, that we've dreamed about, that now we're going to review and see whether or not we're still inspired, whether or not we're still passionate enough to actually do the work that is needed to bring this baby to life. So we got a lot of things going on here. We got a lot of energy pushing us one way, pulling us the other. We have to take this time to wrap up the life lessons, wrap up the loose ends of our past before pushing forward and pursuing new projects, new ideas, and our new mission, our new meaning, our new purpose that now we are suddenly inspired to pursue.